Ladies and gentlemen,
let's rock.
This is FanStream Sports.
Can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Yes! Here we go!
I guess I want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about my pants.
Too loud?
Yes. Welcome into the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Show, the show that always starts without any hiccups, or so we think. Thank you for joining, downloading, doing whatever the hell you did in order to get to the sound of my voice. We appreciate you. I am Colby Sapp. In the other window, if you're watching the video, is one backwards hat-wearing IndyCar Tim. What's up, Tim?
Welcome to the show, Colby. It's good to have you on a hump day.
Yep.
I apologize for my concussed nature. I forgot run sheets. We don't have a run sheet for tonight.
No, we don't.
We're sort of flying by the seat of each other's pants.
Well, let me go ahead and say this. I don't think I've ever looked at a run sheet that you've given me. So
Yeah, but I use them religiously to know when to break, to know what we're going to talk about next, to know when to talk about what next. And literally, I've never done a show without one.
all right.
And I don't have one in front of me, and I don't really know what to do with my hands right now.
Okay.
And that's aside from the concussion and the broken nose.
Well, as one Jeff Kavanaugh, Arnie Spanier, the K and C, both Kevin and Corey can attest to, I don't usually look at those.
No, because you usually have someone else leading the show to know where to go.
Even on the segments that I led, I didn't have to know what we were doing because I didn't know what I was about to do before I opened my mouth. But I will say this, we do have a couple of stories to get to right off the bat, and they're personal stories that have happened. One, if you were paying attention to the J.P. Peterson show that also stars one IndyCar Tim, then you probably heard this version of the story. But let me get to mine first because, more me, because
More Colby.
stupid. So I'm on vacation this week because I pulled a Jesus. I'm taking off on my birthday, and that's this weekend.
Do you think Jesus didn't work on his birthday?
I'm just saying his birthday's a holiday, right? So everybody takes off on Jesus's birthday. So I figured I'd just do the same. So, but anyway, I got up this morning and I was like, all right. I looked at the shape of the kitchen and I was like, I'm not dealing with making things today because something has exploded in the kitchen and it's bad. So I wasn't going to tackle that.
Was Mamu there again?
No, nobody took apart the coffee maker on a bender or anything along that lines. It's just things that have happened and people haven't kept after things. And, it's a kitchen explosion. It happens occasionally. So anyway, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing that, but I need breakfast because food's good. So I went to the Taco Cabana.
At the Taco Cabana.
Because I've got 3 people immediately to feed and I don't have all the monies. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go get the big dozen taco box, right?
Yet. We don't have all the monies yet.
Right. We don't have all the monies yet. So it's like $20 and you get a dozen breakfast tacos.
Yeah.
It's great.
Their tacos are great.
It's a great deal. And then, of course, if you walk inside, then you can fill as many of those effing cups as you want of their salsa. And just walk out with it. And nobody says a damn thing after you walked out with 20 of them bitches.
My salsa nipples are hard.
So anyway, I did that. And I looked up and the price of this thing is $19.99, right? It's $19.99.
Oh, so this is a set menu item.
It's a set menu item.
Okay.
Right. You get 3 chorizo, 3 bacon, 3 potato, and then 3 regular bean and cheese tacos for this.
God, I love that. So,
all right, cool. Right, because it pretty much the wife loves the chorizo. I think the bacon's cool. The kid loves bean and cheese and the potato ones.
Right.
Everybody's solved with this order. So I looked up and it's like $19.99. The lady behind the counter, who was a little bit older than me, right, says, all right. And she rang it up and she said, this will be 18 and something. And I was like, I'm staring at the menu and it says 19. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I guess, I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm here a lot. It's not like they know me. And it's like, oh, I'm going to give, because it's Colby, I'm going to give him
It's Colby from the Colby Sapp IndyCar Tim show.
He gets a discount. I didn't think anything about it. I'm just like, I'm kind of wondering if my order is going to be right when it shows up, even though it's like, it's right there. It's like, I'm not ordering off menu. Right. And I said the right magic words that make that order appear on that whatever. So anyway, she hands me my ticket and I'm over there at the salsa bar just filling up cups of salsa. And I look at the ticket and I'm like, well, that's right. And at the bottom of it, it says senior discount.
Are you in high school?
No, like senior citizen discount. And the lady didn't she didn't ask me.
I love this story.
She didn't, she just automatically assumed. And I'm looking around now. I actually went to like Taco Cabana's website. And it's like, at what age do they offer the senior discount? It's like 55.
This is great.
50. I look 55. I mean, if somebody comes up to me and like you go to one of those people that like are supposed to guess your age, or somebody just like guesses your age and they get like really close. Like I'm about to be 47, I'm pretty sure.
Just a pup.
So, but if somebody comes up to me, he's like, yeah, you look 47. Fine. I'm fine with it. Okay, cool. Yeah. I look my age. That's great. But like a year and a half ago, I would like go buy, some whiskey or something, and they would ask me for my ID. And I'm like,
great.
So it's like, and they're supposed to ask for that until you're 35.
Yeah.
So like a year and a half ago, I'm still getting frequently asked for my ID to make sure I was of age. And now this lady, like a year later, I don't know what's happened in this year, but obviously something. I now get the automatic, no questions asked. Here's your senior citizens discount, old man. Like the week of my birthday. If it happened like last month, I'd have just been like, oh, well, maybe she just has bad vision. I don't know.
And I explained to you what I think happened. I think she was just trying to be nice and give you a discount for some undisclosed reason.
Uh-huh.
And that was just the discount button she pressed because it's 15%, right? Isn't that what the receipt said?
Yes.
You sent me a picture of it.
Yeah.
With huge question marks over your head.
Right.
But I think that was because they probably have a screen of discounts, right? And they're probably varying percentages, 5, 10, 15, whatever it is, right? Whatever reason it is. And she was just probably trying to be nice. Maybe she thought you were cute. She might have been a little bit into you. And she might have just said, I'm gonna give this cute little white boy a discount. And her finger just roamed to the 15%, which was senior.
Okay, all right.
I don't think she meant anything by it.
Oh, well, all right, maybe not.
Other than how you doing?
I don't think I was there. I didn't feel any how you doing vibes. All right. I didn't feel any of those.
Well, you're out of practice with those. You're married.
Maybe that's it. Now, I think I would even been more okay with it if it was like, the teenager behind the check stand, right? Or she's just like, oh yeah, you're an old man. Like, I can get that because, you're like 17, 18 years old, whatever it is.
Everyone's old.
Everybody's old to that person. I get that. Like my kids who are all in their 20s, with old man, they automatically think of me.
And you're 47.
Yeah. They don't think of like somebody in an old folks home or somebody like, as old as Gerb. No, or you. No. They think of me.
By the way, Gerb's younger than me.
That's the reason why I started with Gerb and then went to you.
Colby.
But no, this was like this chick she was in her 50s. So whatever. It just blew my mind. Like again, any other week, and I don't give a shit. The week of my birthday where I'm actually thinking, crap, I'm a year older. And that's when Taco Cabana hooks me up with the here's your reminder that you're an old bastard.
You're 47.
Right.
You're not old. I'm not old yet.
Yeah, I'm definitely not old enough to get so drunk that I end up asleep and end up falling out of the bed face first like a Zangief dive in freaking Street Fighter.
All right, Colby. So I've told this story once on the air this week. Can I just replay that video? Are you okay with that?
I'm sure. If
I
that's
feel like
what
we
you
should
got
just do
to
that.
do. Okay, so here's the up-to-date information on why Tim's nose doesn't look the same as it did the last time you saw this video.
And it might not ever look the same again.
By the way, so before we hit the break, are you going to give us the story?
Yeah, you want it now?
Yeah,
I can do it here in a couple of minutes.
with some writer's embellishment, if it's
Yeah, so Sunday night, kind of a last minute deal late, went and met the lovely and talented Britt, who's, we'll just leave it at that.
okay. All right.
And her and I always have
What
a
is
good
she
time.
talented at, Tim? Where do her talents lie?
Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff, JP. And for those of you that don't follow me on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok at IndyCar Tim. Just search for IndyCar Tim on
Shameless
TikTok.
plug.
And you'll see lots of videos between Tim and Britt.
Okay.
When we go out, we just have a good time. So anyway, we went out to our local watering hole down the street here in Plano and partook in some cocktails, right? Had a really nice time like we always do.
Yeah.
Tim used to drink Crown quite a bit.
Okay.
But the older
We just
Tim
went
got,
third person. Wow,
yeah, the
this
older
is
Tim
good.
got, he couldn't handle his Crown. It made him mean. And for some reason, Sunday, old Tim decided to visit young Tim and handle up on some Crown.
Oh.
And so, you know, when I'm with Britt, things are on the just verge of going south really quick because she is so beautiful and so gorgeous. Guys are intimidated, right? Like, holy crap. I mean, I see somebody looking at her, and I mean, she's her own person. She can do whatever she wants. But drunk Tim starts to get offended, right? So we were on the verge of that already on Sunday. Just the wrong dude walks in the bar, gives the wrong look, and I'm like, let's go.
That's all it took. He didn't even have to say anything. He just gave it a look.
Sometimes, however, that is not what happened Sunday.
JP
Sunday,
was so disappointed.
I avoided the fight. This is not the result of a fight.
Oh, wow. I thought that's where we were going here. Yeah.
I know. I would like, it's writer's embellishment, right? I'm leading this, going with the story here. So I would love to say, hey, you should see the other guy. Unfortunately, the other guy in this case is the nightstand next to my bed.
Oh.
Because
once again,
the Crown, and Tim realizes why he doesn't drink Crown. Several hours later, I'm literally at home, safe, didn't fight anybody. I was kind of proud of myself. Britt and I were texting each other. She's like, really proud of you for not killing somebody tonight. I know you wanted to. And I was like, yeah, I know I'm great.
Growing up,
Literally put the phone down, fall asleep, wake up in a pool of blood at 4 a.m, Monday morning, late Sunday night, next to my bed, as I have rolled off the bed in my sleep in a Crown Royal induced coma. And I didn't even wake up when I fell and did all of this.
How do you not wake up if you concuss yourself?
Crown, I guess.
Wow.
Dude, so literally pool of blood.
How many bottles did you have?
Full of vomit. And so, dude, the vomit and blood mixture.
Oh,
there's still a stain on the carpet. I'm still trying to work it out.
Wow. You know, this is good.
Yeah, that's
that's fantastic because once, you know, I have gone, you know.
So there's your story, by the way. Is that disappointing for you, Colby?
Yeah,
Would you have rather had the fight story?
No. See, I'm rooting for patheticism,
which is me.
And this is the most pathetic. That
oh god, it hurts even when I freak. I got to take this.
That you, asleep on your bed, managed to roll off in such momentous force that you slam your head. Okay, how much height difference is between the nightstand and your actual bed?
So my bed is so I don't think I broke it on the nightstand. So my nightstand's probably 5 inches below the top of my bed.
Okay.
But my bed's 5 feet above the floor.
Right. No. See, I'm trying to figure things out because
and there's no blood on my nightstand. Although there is a mark where I hit it.
Okay.
And again, I didn't wake up in my Crown-induced coma. I did not wake up, dude, until I don't know how long I was out.
So you rolled and like your body hit the floor.
body's at the floor.
But your head hit the nightstand, and then it held your head up while your body was down here. And then after your head fell off, it went kapook.
I bet you I bounced. I bet you my face bounced on the floor.
And of course you're completely asleep or,
I didn't wake up.
Out. You're blacked out.
Yeah.
And
unconscientious.
So there's no hands in front of anything.
No,
there's no
God,
instinctive anything.
No.
But the fact that your body was already on the floor and like your head was like stopped by the nightstand and
bounced
then,
like a basketball.
And then so the rest of your body pulled your head down even faster. It's like bam. Now, man.
God, it hurts to laugh like
I
this.
have never begged for you to have security cams in your bedroom until now.
Just to watch.
Just to see.
Well, most girls don't let me have cameras in my bedroom.
Yeah, just to see the Tim head bounce off.
So Colby, I woke up at 4
a.m.
again in a pool of mixture of vomit.
How shocking.
And blood.
How shocking.
Have you ever seen a pool of a mixture of vomit and blood that you were laying in?
No, no. I'm glad you added that caveat at the end of it. No.
Again, I was dizzy. I was disoriented. I had no idea where I was, what was happening when I woke up. I remember going into the bathroom. And thinking, and again, I didn't have time to get into this in the story that you heard, but I remember going into my bathroom, thinking I got to clean myself up. All I did was sit on the toilet in my shorts. That apparently, and I never sleep in shorts. I had shorts on that night.
Okay, good for you.
Sitting on the toilet in my shorts, literally bleeding. Like there's still blood because I haven't cleaned it yet because I wanted to make a point to my kids, don't drink.
Okay.
Like, don't be like Dad.
I think you do that like every week.
No, don't be like Dad, y'all. There's still blood in my bathroom. But so yeah, all I did, like, this is how concussed I was. I just sat on the toilet, and I have no idea how long I sat on the toilet. And then suddenly I realized, like, oh, my shorts are on. What am I doing here? Like, I had no idea what I was doing there. Walk into the bedroom, had no recollection of what just happened. Walked into the bedroom and saw the pool of vomit and blood next to my bed and thought, oh, now I remember. Oh. So I did go to so my kid was gone. He took me to the ER. The lovely and talented Britt, by the way, offered to come pick me up and take me to the ER.
Right.
In all fairness, because I told her exactly what happened. But Zach was coming home. He took me to the little medical clinic ER thing. And yeah, they diagnosed me with a concussion and a broken nose. So for the record, I think we got into this later in that video, but this is my 18th career broken nose.
Oh, okay. All right. I've had a couple of those.
Probably 7th or 8th career concussion.
I've had more than that of those.
I bet you have.
And
I don't wear a helmet when I ride a motorcycle, so that's saying something.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just dumb.
It is dumb, kids. Wear a motorcycle. Wear a helmet.
Wear a motorcycle.
Dude, what's funny is Tuesday when I'm doing the JP show, we kept talking hockey, right? And I kept talking about the Stars and we're talking about Rays. See, I just did it again. Lightning.
Yes.
The Tampa Bay hockey team is the Lightning.
You're correct.
Dude, I mentioned the Rays, the Stanley Cup, the Rays winning the Stanley Cup like 5 different times. And every time JP under his breath or like under my breath, he'd go, Lightning play hockey, Lightning play hockey, Lightning play hockey. And I was just like, I'm just going to stop talking now, dude. And even today, I'm trying to work. And I'm not supposed to be like in sunlight, right? With a concussion.
Okay, right.
I got to keep my blinds closed in my room. I'm definitely not supposed to be looking at screens, right? That's what the first thing they tell you. Don't look at screens. No phones, no TV, no computer. Well, what do I do for work? Come on. I have to. So it's probably not helped my recovery. And now we're just, 3 days removed. I was supposed to be in the dark for 2 days, and I haven't been in the dark at all. I mean, other than my life is in the dark.
Right.
But I'm dealing with headaches. I got dizzy yesterday. Was the last time I actually got dizzy when I stood up. The pain right here is maybe the worst. It's worse now than it was the day after.
Oh yeah, your resident soreness.
I've got like my sinuses are congested because I have dried blood inside my sinus cavities.
That'll be for a little bit longer. Yeah.
And you know, I don't know what's happening, man. And it's like I haven't had a concussion since I was probably in my early 30s due to a hockey injury.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I don't remember what it was like. I don't think I went to the doctor at that point, you know.
I've never went to the doctor for a concussion.
Oh, I went for the nose. Like I was afraid I was afraid I might need plastic surgery.
I don't think you can fix that.
Which, by the way, if I could get plastic surgery to fix all of this, I would do it.
No, don't. Okay, all right. Every time you see somebody that was like you knew and that are popular and had the really, really good plastic surgery done, right? Like the expensive shit. And then you see them like the after photos and you're like, what the hell did you MF and do?
What are you doing?
What is wrong with you? So no, I still don't think as much as you know, technologically we've advanced
Sure.
in everything. I still think plastic surgery, we haven't figured that particular animal out.
Well, you know what? I blame that more on the people that have the surgery than I do the doctors performing the surgery.
You think they're just asking for way too much?
Yes.
You know what I'd like?
Because
like my whole face to be able to fit in the middle of a straw.
If doctor does like emergency reconstructive surgery, right? If you've been in an accident,
okay,
and
right.
you need that,
doing the whole create a face,
right, dude, it's amazing. But when someone says, "Hey, you know, while you're in there, can you just like give me Michael Jackson nose or something?"
Right.
Well, that's not on the doctor. That's on the person.
Okay. All right.
By the way, apparently there's this new reconstructive or plastic surgery called elfing.
What?
Where they give you pointy ears like an elf.
Oh, I thought that's where you had a microphone and you just went around random places asking people questions.
As a Jew.
It's a Mark Elfenbein joke, not as what. Yeah. Don't think Tim's a Nazi.
He's Jewish.
Yes, I know. I was just connecting the dots for the people that didn't know.
Oh, because there's probably people that don't know.
Yeah, there's probably people that didn't know that I just made a elf off the leash, on a leash,
off the leash, off the cuff, off the rails.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much everything that happened.
So there's my broken nose story, Colby. I don't want to tell it twice.
Well, that was sad of you that you had to go to the video.
And I was just talking to the lovely and talented Britt literally right before we went on the air doing a FaceTime with her and her friend that are going to see a Ann Richards retrospective at a theater in Addison. Huh.
Wait.
That's the thing that's happening right now today.
Hold on. They're having this thing. And people are voluntarily showing. Did they pay?
Oh, no, they had to pay. They had to pay to go to this. So Britt barely know who she's not from Texas. She doesn't know who Ann Richards is, right? It's a friend of hers that she met through a work colleague. It's his wife. And so she's trying to make friends and entertain and stuff.
So they're doing a documentary about Ann Richards.
I think, no, it's like a play. It's like a play.
They're doing
like live action.
Yeah, they're doing a live action documentary. Which, dear sweet Jesus,
Ann
kill
Richards.
me now. About Ann Richards, double kill me. Don't let me make it there. And people paid for.
So for any of you youngins, just go Google Ann Richards and her history in office and her time in Texas, and then tell me if you would pay to go see a career retrospective of her live in person.
No. I mean, the answer.
Because Britt goes, at first he goes, we're going to see Ann Richards in Addison, like the ex-governor of Texas. I'm like,
what?
Oh, she died a long time ago. I'm pretty sure. Like, because you know me, Colby, I keep up with that stuff, right?
Right. You're aware.
And I would know, right? Weirdly. So as I'm talking to her, I'm Googling. I'm like, Britt, she died in 2006. She's like, oh, then I don't know what the hell we're doing. And I'm like, well, no, look, and I'm looking it up. There's a career retrospective live action of her in Addison. That's where y'all are going. She's like, oh, I don't really care. It'll be fun. I'm like, okay, I hope they serve alcohol.
I don't understand any of the things that you just said that form an actual sentence. That's insane. So here's the part of the show where I remind Tim of all the things that we're going to do for the show because he does not have a run sheet.
Colby.
I also don't have to have one to tell you what's coming up. So here in a bit, for those that are wanting a little bit of sports in this fan stream sports show, basically we do a little bit of that. We are going to talk a little Mavericks, but mainly about Tim's perspective on the NBA All-Star festivities, which, by the way, Tim doesn't like basketball, so it's going to be a little bit of a negative review on something that was already kind of negative anyway, because most All-Star games are not great, and it's just really a time for people to take a break. So we're going to have that. We also have your good, bad, and ugly, which is where I go through all the famous people that are born today, and then we rank them, who's the good person, who's the bad person, who's the ugly person. After that, we do have a little information for the Pulp Fiction section of our show, which is going to get into a little bit of our version of entertainment news. It's my mystery shotgun, which will give you a little information on all the cool things that are about to come out or the happenings behind the scenes that you might want to be aware of if you're anywhere near the same nerddom as I am. After that, we do have I'll call this a buffet. It's a free-for-all buffet.
Jimmy Buffett?
It's one of those buffets that it's almost like the Golden Corral buffet.
Corral?
Or that too, where you go in and you're not really sure what's there, but you're pretty sure most of it's edible. We'll call that the Golden Corral buffet.
Stop saying coral.
That is the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim show. As I found a list from the Chive, and then Tim also has a list of quarterbacks, and we're going to hodgepodge that.
We're going to do all of that now?
No, that'll be next hour. I'm telling everybody what's going on. And then we'll
Concussed.
end the show with news and notes. That's all coming up. But right now, this should have given Tim, if he was aware of kind of cues that are going on, it should have given him enough time to be ready for the segment we like to call the Sports Report.
Oh. That's not where I was going with that.
Because in that whole diatribe, I said we will talk a little NBA basketball right after this, giving him the time to set up while I ran about. There it is. There's the cue for
We skipped what day is it? I thought that's where you were going.
It's true, but it is 7:30.
It's way late, yeah, but I thought we weren't doing a run sheet. So, Colby.
I mean, do you have really cool days?
We had one. It's National Sticky Bun Day. We'll just go with that. Happy National Sticky Bun Day. Like sticky buns?
I do like sticky buns.
It depends why her buns are stuck together for me. Like, I need to know why they're stuck.
I mean, the actual like food sticky buns.
Oh, is that food?
I mean, it's basically somebody gave up while making cinnamon buns, and they're just like, screw it. It should be buns and icing.
All right.
That's a sticky. I just had
With
a kamikaze burp.
Supposed to have nuts too on them, on sticky buns? Like,
sometimes.
Is it walnuts or
sometimes sticky buns have
pecans?
Have all the nuts on it. Sometimes it could be just the bun and icing.
Mark.
Like they forgot the cinnamon.
All right, so in our sports report, Colby, what part of the sports report is this? What sport are we doing?
Well, we just had the NBA All-Star game, and you had that on the little thing. That
okay,
we were
so that's what we're doing now?
I mean, yeah, if you want to.
Okay, Colby, did you watch the NBA All-Star game?
No, but I watched some of the slam dunk, and then I saw that lady take on Curry in the three-point competition.
I don't know anything you're talking about because you know why?
Why is that? You didn't watch any?
I didn't even know it was on.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it was Valentine's Day weekend, so you know that the NBA All-Star festivities are going on while that's going on.
Is that when it happens every year?
Every year.
First I've heard of that.
Every single year.
I am 41 years old, and that is the first time I've heard of that.
No, it's. I mean, every single like the week of like.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Valentine's. It's always NBA All-Star weekend.
Had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah. So, because, when you had like serious plans like, for Valentine's, you were normally trying to combo that with, hey, what dunk's happening next or something along
Except no one cares anymore, right?
I mean,
do you care? I mean, you don't even watch the NBA religiously anymore, right? Or the Mavericks.
Well, just because of Bally's.
Because you can't.
So I'll every time I can watch it, like if it's on like TNT or TBS or whatever, I'll watch the game there. But most of the time, it's what they played last night. Well, we'll wait a little bit, and it'll be up as a YouTube short. It'll take like 10 minutes to watch the whole effing basketball game, which I find that cool. And plus, I can go back real quick and just be like, oh yeah, let me see that again.
And I also sometimes do that if I think the Mavericks have had a good game or heard something about it. I will go back and I will do that too as well. But Colby, this is the NBA All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up in the late 70s, all through the 80s, even through most of the 90s, man, the All-Star game was the highlight event of the NBA season. It wasn't an afterthought.
Right.
It wasn't a second tier event. It was up there with, I have to watch the All-Star game, just like I've got to watch the playoffs, right?
Right.
Because you had guys trying their hardest to win the All-Star game for either bragging rights or when you actually had rivalries.
Right.
You had teams that freaking hated each other. Teams in the West hated the teams in the East. You're in different conferences. This is for pride. As we went from the 70s to the 80s, as salaries increased, it had less to do with, well, you make more money if you win, because that's how it started. As you would have the East versus the West, whenever it started, you would get the winners. If you're on the All-Star team, when stuff like that mattered, you would get a little bit more of a bonus as a winner than you did as a loser. And when guys were counting their pennies and this mattered, they had that to play for. Then you had, Jordan and Isaiah Thomas and all those guys that were in the East wanted to kill everybody that was in the West, all the guys on the Lakers that were constantly, all the guys with Utah that were there, all the guys from the Supersonics that were there. Dude, they hated each other.
Right.
They played defense. They ran offenses, right? It was an actual game. And yes, it was an all-star game because you wanted to see all of those guys playing against each other. These are the best guys in the league. Nowhere else are you going to see these 5 guys, these 10 guys playing these 5 or 10 guys over here like ever. This only happens here at the All-Star game. And it was exciting to watch, man. You saw great defense because if you had so-and-so covering Jordan, well, he's not going to score on me.
Well,
I'm on national TV.
I mean, he was, but yeah, he tried real hard.
But you're going to try. Like, you don't want this guy to score against you. He doesn't want you to score against him. Dude, they tried. It was pride, man. It was pride. It was the game of basketball in its best form, in its best era. And that's what I miss. Now, Colby, we have a game where the East won 211 to 186. You had 168 attempted three-pointers, and you had 0 defense. It's guys giving each other shots because they're buddies. It's more of a, hey, let's see what we can do and show off rather than an actual basketball game. And I don't watch the rest of the festivities. I don't watch the NBA dunk competition anymore. I just don't care, right? I didn't even know it was on.
As far as that's concerned, not watching the festivities have always been the thing that I've liked the most.
Okay.
And McClung coming back, he won it last year, and he's
Texas Tech guy, by the way.
Yeah, he's in the G League or whatever it is, right? And they let him come back to defend his title, and of course he's slaps it down again and gets it. And I was really happy for him because this is his one moment to shine, right? It's his one place where like he can't make the big clubs, but he has a damn good dunker.
Good showman. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was cool with that part. I was cool with a little bit of the hype that was I forgot her name.
So there was a girl that was in the 3-point competition. It wasn't
versus
Caitlin Clark, was it?
It was whoever just set the all-time scoring everything.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, okay.
From Iowa.
Yeah. So it was her.
Okay, see, I would have watched that.
Her versus Curry. And she had to go first.
Okay.
And so she threw up 26 from the men's 3-point line.
Okay.
26, which is a decent score.
Yeah.
And so Curry ended up getting 28 to win it.
Wow.
But
See, I would have watched that.
But that's how close it was. It was like you knew once he get to the corner, he wasn't going to drop any. But if he would have missed any of those, it'd have been whoa.
Well,
really?
I mean, in all fairness, I don't watch women's basketball. I do watch a touch of women's college basketball because I have to write about it.
Right.
And dude, Caitlin Clark, for the most part, most of her 3-point attempts in game are from at least men's 3-point range.
Right. Well, so she threw that down. That was a really good showing for everybody because there was a couple of things that you had to look at when you're watching this thing. Number one being the different crowd.
Right.
Right. It wasn't a women's, college basketball crowd. It was an NBA crowd.
Sure.
Right. So if this would have happened in a women's college basketball crowd, then they're all piped just for her to do this thing.
Right.
And the consensus would have been better. Also, she might have felt a little bit less pressure because you put her in that spot to where it's the big spotlight.
Okay, so it wasn't Caitlin Clark who set the all-time.
Okay, whoever it was.
It was Sabrina Ionescu. Okay, all right. I didn't sound right. So
I didn't think it was, but I was
no,
like,
because so Caitlin Clark's in college still. Sabrina Ionescu plays for the New York Liberty of the WNBA. Okay.
So
all right.
At any rate, it wouldn't have been a WNBA crowd that had been there.
Is there such a thing?
I mean, yeah, all 12 of them.
Wow.
So
I was being nice.
But I just think with the spotlight and her still going at that level,
yeah.
I mean, that just proves to me that as far as shooting wise, everything else wise, not shooting wise, it's really starting to match up because that's, the ladies' best shooter versus the men's best shooter. And he might be the best shooter of all effing time.
Absolutely.
And so to see how close they were matched in this one time, I was like, you know what? You change locations of this and you might end up with a different outcome just because of her feeling, a little bit more ice in the veins because she had a lot of it, obviously, to throw down 26 in it. So I
could beat both of them.
I was not a chance in
From
hell.
3-point? Oh, hell yeah.
Not a chance.
I'd have scored 50.
In hell. Not a single chance.
See, and I would be interested, again, this would interest me slightly, in skills competition.
Right.
Seeing some of the best women against some of the best men. Like, I think that would, I feel like this is the beginning. This is the first year they've done this? Is this the first year they've had the girl? Like, I feel like this is kind of the beginning of maybe something that could turn into, because again, I would be interested in the skills part of it, seeing some of the best women versus some of the best men. Like, I would love to see that. I would tune in to watch that.
Right.
Especially if they wore bikini tops.
I'm going to be honest with you.
The girls, not the guys.
A lot of the girls you're not
going to want to see. I don't know. Sabrina Ionescu's pretty cute.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying.
I'd like to see her in a volleyball uniform.
Just saying they're more professional than.
Oh, I just thought of something, Colby.
What's that?
I would like to see the men all-stars. Okay, their top, 11 on a volleyball team?
Uh-huh.
Against the top 11 WNBA all-stars in a volleyball competition, sand pit volleyball, and the girls have to wear bikinis.
You know what? I mean, fine. If we're going down, I don't know,
hypotheticals.
Dream Theater Road, not the band.
Love Dream Theater.
Then sure, Tim. Sure.
Would you not watch that?
I mean, I would.
I would call it. I would do play-by-play. I would definitely be a photographer.
You would do the play-by-play photographer role. I don't think is one that you could fill, Tim.
I'm doing play-by-play because I got a mic on as I'm going around taking pictures.
As you're pulling things out of your Kodak and waving them around.
It's not a Polaroid. I don't have a Polaroid, Colby, and you're not supposed to shake it.
But the song.
I know the song was wrong.
The song told me to shake it.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Don't mark that. No, I never.
It's too late.
So as far as the NBA All-Star game, you know the time that it got bad, and I know it's
when it started.
No, because you used to think it was amazing.
Oh, you mean like the timeline when it got bad? I thought you meant when this year's was bad.
The timeline when it got bad is when you got the changeover and the attitude adjustment of a lot of your players. Because if you go back and you look at the history of the NBA and you hear them talk about any players talk about, any of the badass players of our time and the times before it, all of the commentary is you did not want to mess with that dude.
Yep.
And it's from like people talking about John Stockton, but talking about it like he would straight call you out as a punk bitch and stuff on the court.
Yep.
And just be, just ready to be nasty.
Yep.
From that guy to anybody else that they talked about the old school stars, they would talk about that because all of them had a monstrous chip on their shoulder.
Yep.
And they were going to do this, and they were top flight, and they were just going to rip people apart to get what they wanted. You've moved over now to the changeover was, and it's not that they don't have this kind of built into them, but it became the All-Star game, not the fight. It became the business decision.
Oh my God.
And this is what you kind of got to look for.
Which I get. I get.
No, it is.
I get.
I know you said, oh gosh, or whatever, or oh God, but this is the smart version. Hey, during the All-Star game that we're here because they voted us in because they think we're awesome. Cool. Let's not try and F each other up because this doesn't mean anything for our actual teams.
Right.
And eventually, no matter if you could go into an NBA contract conversation with any team and like, look, by the way, I scored 40 and I defended really well in the All-Star game. They don't give a flying fart.
What if they did this? Do you remember when the MLB All-Star game decided the home field advantage for the World Series?
Yes.
Yeah, because the Rangers got screwed in one of those. What if they did that for the NBA All-Star game? So the winner, East or West, gets home court advantage for the finals.
I mean, that might.
It means a little more, right?
It means a little bit more, except for, of course, for those few players are like, yeah, I could be playing for the East next year. That's cool.
Well, no, like that year. I'm talking about that year.
They could be.
Well, they could be traded, right?
They could be playing for the East here. I could be traded here or whatever.
I'll tell you what
deadline's over with, but they could have been whatever.
And I'll tell you why I think some of this has happened. And I said this on the JP show on Tuesday. The entire culture, not just of the league, but as the entire planet has changed, right?
Oh, yes.
Since the 90s, the aughts. Now the players that you have that are growing up, that are NBA All-Stars now, have been taught to be friends with everybody. Mm-hmm. Free agency and players like LaFraud have now turned
LeBron,
the NBA.
He's that good. You should change it.
He's not.
Yes,
he
is that good.
F him. He has ruined the NBA and he's ruined the All-Star game. This is all because of him.
I don't think you should congratulate him like that by doing that situation.
Now players are all best friends with each other.
Yeah,
they all think they can
next week.
They all can go play with each other on the next roster they're on, wherever that is. They recruit each other. They definitely play with each other, and they do that. Kevin Durant's played with everybody in the NBA. But it's so, dude, the culture is now that all of y'all are my best friends. We all hang out after the games. We all go drinking together. We're all Eskimo brothers. We share wives and share women, share drugs and drug dealers. Allegedly. I'm just saying, back then, like I said, in the good old days, Colby, when I was watching the NBA, they all hated each other. They wanted to beat each other. They wanted to hurt each other. It was a better game.
Yeah, but then they all ended up they'd all go play golf together. And
Not on the court.
Not on the court, no, but afterwards, hey, we're going to go.
Look, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird did not like each other, right?
No.
In college,
no.
They did not like each other probably through the first 10 years of their career. They were adversaries.
Right.
I almost said adversaries.
Anniversary.
They were anniversaries. And I still think today, even today, I don't think they they respect each other. I don't think they like each other that much.
Oh, no.
Jordan and every Detroit Piston from 1989 and 1990, none of those guys like each other. They respect each other.
Isaiah Thomas doesn't respect Jordan.
Well, Isaiah Thomas shouldn't be respected by anybody because he's a Twix, whatever. I just saw a commercial for Twix on the TV behind you, so I called him a Twix.
I was
Not a,
wondering
I tell you,
what-
Isaiah Thomas fan.
Is he a left Twix or a right Twix?
Oh, he'd definitely be a left Twix.
Okay.
There's no question.
So G wants to know if there's a call line, by the way.
Yeah, tell him to call my number.
Call Tim, G.
Call me right now. I mean, I'm not going to answer it, but you can call me. Because we got to move on. By the way, David Aldridge from who used to be ESPN, now he's with The Athletic, who's been covering the NBA as long as I've been watching the NBA, seems like. He called it dreadful, the All-Star game.
I mean, it wasn't great. It hadn't been great.
Bob Ryan, veteran sports writer from Boston that's literally covered the NBA like since before I was born, called it a waste of time.
It kind of is.
Stephen A. Smith from ESPN, who is the biggest NBA proponent that ever existed, that loves the NBA. His career was made on the NBA, right? That's probably all he should be allowed to talk about on ESPN. He called it an absolute travesty. I agree with all of these guys. Whatever needs to be done to fix this, if you need to just not have it, just have the skills, do it. But that game was ridiculous. 211 points. I got to do a shot now. It's vamp.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, call it ridiculous. Call it whatever you want to. It's still going to happen. It still draws in fans. It still draws in views. And it's been trashed forever. And it still does. It still does. People still get excited about it. It's NBA All-Star Weekend. It's the reason why that you know you have something happening, because it's like it's the only thing happening in sports, because they basically like moved most of the car races that were going on at that time too to like Monday, just to make sure that there was nothing else.
That was because of rain.
Whatever it was.
The Daytona 500, sir.
Yeah, that thing.
That thing, the Super Bowl of NASCAR,
which is at the beginning of the race.
I know, which is dumb. It
makes absolutely no sense
I agree.
whatsoever. Just
I
like
agree.
most of it.
I agree. Don't say most of it.
Most of it doesn't make any sense.
It all makes sense except for why they have their Super Bowl as the first game of the year.
Okay, to you,
man, I guess to everyone but you.
No, I'm.
Why do you hate NASCAR?
I don't know. Why do you hate the NBA?
Because Dale Earnhardt died?
Yes, that's exactly
he
what
wasn't
happened.
great anyway. What did he ever do?
Wow. Okay. All right.
Screw Dale Earnhardt.
I thought I was the one taking shots, but yeah, no, you can't.
Screw Dale
disrespect
Earnhardt.
three.
I was a Rusty Wallace guy back then anyway.
All right. Well, cool.
Crank it up, Rusty!
So, yeah, I don't know how we get from where he just left off to where I'm supposed to do this, but coming up next, we are going to do a little good, bad, and ugly. We have a mystery shotgun for you guys, and then we got more stuff to get into. As I just said, screwballiness with a fart underneath it, and that was amazing. But that's all coming up on the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Show.
Hello, sports fans. Fanstream Sports.
Hi, golfers. IndyCar Tim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? It means if you play or have a business, or, you know, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal, or, you know, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim Show right here on FanStream Sports, coming at you on a hump day on a Wednesday. Live from the FanStream Sports Studios in North Dallas, I'm IndyCar Tim. Colby Sapp is nowhere to be found. He is nowhere to be found. Let's see if he's still there. Nope, still not there. It's a Wednesday. It is a run sheet free Wednesday as we go about it. We hope you recovered from Valentine's Day. We hope you had a good one. If you had an interesting Valentine's Day story, we would love to hear from you. Text us in on the FanStream Sports Studio text line, 214-937-0569, or you can email us, IndyCarTim@gmail.com or Colby Sapp with 2 P's @gmail.com. We'd love to hear your interesting Valentine's Day stories. Those would be fun. We may feature those on a upcoming episode if they're good enough. I don't know, Colby, what'd you do? Colby, what'd you do for Valentine's Day?
I went to eat.
With your lady, right?
Of course. Took her with.
I mean, that was nice of you. It's Valentine's Day.
Right. So we went to, we went, of course, Mexican food. We went to Macarena.
Macarena?
Yes.
With the breakfast burrito?
I didn't get the breakfast burrito.
Well, it was dinner.
It was dinner. No, I got the.
No, but the same place that has the breakfast burrito is what I meant.
Right.
Sweet. I got to come out there, man.
You need to. It's amazing.
I got to try that place because, dude, I do love me some Mexican food. So, today for lunch, I was having a craving for Mexican food, which I get frequently because that's my favorite food. And I couldn't leave. I had to prepare for the show and I had about 18 bajillion articles I had to write for SI, and I just didn't have time to leave. So I did the old DoorDash.
Right.
And all of the Mexican restaurants that I like that are around there have like $8 delivery fees and stuff.
Right.
Stupid, man. So my $12 dinner was going to be $41, right? So I just did the old Fuzzies.
Okay.
I did the Fuzzies because they had a $2.99 delivery fee, and there's literally one right up the street. So I did the old cheese enchilada with the red sauce, the enchilada plate, cheese enchilada with the red sauce, the shrimp enchilada with the green sauce, refried beans, and the cilantro lime rice, and then I did a side of chips and queso, and a large Dr. Pepper Zero.
Well, if we're going through what we ordered at the Mexican food restaurant, I will tell you that I walked in and immediately asked for their fresh made in-house chicharrones.
Oh, they're so good.
Then they're popping while you put it in the queso and stuff. Oh man, that's great. And so for the dinner, I noticed they had a new item. And so of course I got to try it. And it says for two. I was like, we're 2 people. It's for 2. I guess I'm getting
That's
it.
us.
So on this, it's on the fajita sizzling plate, right? It comes out with the peppers and
Love
onions.
me some fajitas.
And it has steak, and it has the chicken.
I like steak.
And it has the shrimps. And all on top of it is this bacon and mushroom, like just chopped up bacon and mushroom mix medley on top of it.
Like what kind of mushrooms? Like just
Your
cooked mushrooms?
Cooked mushrooms with your standard, like beans and rice and all that as a side plate for each person. And then, of course, all the tortillas.
I think my mushroom nipples are hard right now.
$30.
I'm going where you went.
$30 for all of that.
Where was that at?
That's at Macarena.
And what city is that in?
That's in the Bedford.
All right. So any of you lovely ladies near Bedford, if you would like to go on a date with me, I will pay. Or you know what? You can pay.
Right.
I want to meet you there. You got to send me a pic first. Also your weight, your shoe size,
none of that is required.
educational background, and maybe a picture of your mom when she's old. I'm going to need all of those, but I will meet you there. And I would love to share a fajitas for two with you. At IndyCar Tim on the X. Find me on Facebook. You can find me on Threads. I would love to interact. I'm on Facebook Dating too. If you would like to find me on Facebook Dating.
While you're shilling for a date, go ahead and throw it to the good, bad, and ugly music, please.
I was getting there, Colby. I'm going to need you to be between 5'1" and 5'8".
Hit the music, Tim!
I'm going to need you to have either blonde, red, or brunette hair. And preferably be a female.
Whatever happens. Hey, by the way, that music means that it's time for the good.
Told you I was getting there.
Good, bad, and ugly. That is the segment where I go through all the famous people that were born today, and I make a list of the people that I think are famous enough to make my list.
Do you check it twice?
I don't, because I'm not Santa Claus, and I don't need a senior citizen discount. Thank you very much.
But you got one.
I did.
Was she at least cute?
No, she wasn't.
I probably should have given her my number.
So anyway, I offer up this list to you guys along with me and Tim, and we decide who we think is the good person, who's the bad person, and who is the ugly person out of this list. Thus the music, thus the segment, thus here we get started. So starting off today, I thought he was going to be great, but he ended
Al
up
Pacino
not being as good. He was once known as the franchise.
Oh.
But we found out he was just named Steve. It's Steve Francis, and he's 47 years old.
Stevie Franchise, Colby. Rockets.
Right.
He's 47?
He's 47.
He wasn't bad.
Wasn't as good. He ended up being as good as what I thought he was going to end up being. Like, he was good for a time, but I thought, here's another all-time great.
Do you think he failed expectations like for the Rockets? I don't know what they expected out of him.
He dropped off the face of the planet.
Oh, he did, yeah. He TO'd.
So.
You're right. I agree with you now.
Oh, and the reason for the call is that Laura wanted to wish me a happy birthday, but that's not till...
When's your birthday?
It's not till Saturday.
Okay, tell them to call me. Tell them to call me.
Oh, we're good.
Call me, yo. No, I need Laura to call me, though, not G. Laura, you can call me, but not G. I'm going to need your number.
66 years old today, and Kid Colby thought that this guy was more awesome than probably everybody else thought he was, but it's Alan Trammell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You thought he was awesome?
I thought he was great, man. I thought, it's like somebody mentioned, like when the Tigers were coming into town, I'd be like, and Alan Trammell. For weird reason, I don't know why.
Wow.
I can't tell you why, but just every time I ended up like seeing Alan Trammell play, he did something cool.
He was only awesome if he was 66 years and 6 days.
Okay. Then that would have made him the beast.
Right.
Rue McClanahan passed away in 2010.
She played the slut old lady
on Golden Girls.
What year?
2010, I think. Either that or my 6 is awful.
Well, they usually are. Man, Rue McClanahan. So look, I'm telling you right now. I know it was the 80s. And you know what? Like in the 80s when they were all Golden Girls,
they weren't that.
They were like in their early 50s.
Right.
They all, like the same age I am now.
They could all get the senior citizen discount. So officially, yeah. They were. It's going to be
Colby,
the theme of the show.
I think I would have Rue McClanahan, though.
How about, was it B. Arthur?
Oh, I definitely. Look, I'd have done B. Arthur at any stage of her age or career just for the same reason I would do Oprah Winfrey, just Roseanne Barr.
Just because you could walk into any party and be like, guess what I did?
Guess who I did?
I mean, you'd have been, what was it? Was it Adam Sandler and who else was it from Airheads where all they wanted was naked pictures of B. Arthur? Yeah. Kelsey Grammer's 69 years old today.
He's having a good cocaine party, probably.
69, dude. Jordan Peele is 45.
Okay, is he the funny one or is he the not funny one?
They're both hilarious,
They're
but
not.
He's also the...
is he the bald one?
No. He's the guy that's making all the the super good movies.
Keegan Michael Key is the other one?
Yes.
Okay, he's the funny one.
They're both funny.
They're not.
They're both your definition of funny. Is
Jordan
definitely-
Peele had a cameo on an episode of your favorite sitcom, Colby, Modern Family, that was mildly humorous because of just the situation, and thank God the writers of the show made it funny.
You know what was probably going on just behind the scenes, just because of what I know about Jordan Peele. He probably wrote that.
I didn't want to do it.
No, he probably wrote that.
He was wearing a women's blouse at a carnival, but you have to go back and watch it.
Now anything that Jordan Peele touches turns to
stone,
like platinum. It's like passes gold.
The next thing Jordan Peele does that's funny, Colby, will be the first.
He's not making funny movies though. That's the thing. He's making like serious.
I know. So he ruined Twilight Zone. His Twilight Zone thing was terrible. I'm a Twilight Zone fan. I'm a Twilight Zone purist. His Twilight Zone was terrible.
The fact that you think you're a purist.
I'm a purist. I'm pure, Colby. I'm a catch.
Jennifer Love Hewitt is 45.
Dude.
And so is those boobs.
No, those boobs are like 20.
20.
So do you know why her last name is Hewitt?
No, the amount of care I have for this is not high, but go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's her name.
It's not her name.
I mean, it is her name.
Are you familiar with the small town of Hewitt, Texas, just south of Waco?
No.
I dated a girl from there once, right out of high school, and I used to drive down there all the time. Jennifer Love Hewitt is from Hewitt.
Cool.
And that's part of her stage name. But I will tell you this, I did not have an appreciation for Jennifer Love Hewitt when I should have back around the time of the boob change.
When everybody else
thought she was greatness. But today, right now, as we speak, Colby, as I gaze into your eyes.
Never say that word "in my eyes" in the same sentence ever again.
As I'm looking at you from through the glass, this glass barrier we have between us right now. Jennifer Love Hewitt at 45 is freaking amazing.
She's been freaking amazing her whole life.
I know, but I didn't catch on until later, okay? I'm admitting that now. Your eyes made me realize that.
Turning 22 years. Shut up. Turning 22 years old today. Blanket Jackson.
Okay, is that a Michael Jackson kid?
That is the Michael Jackson kid that he held over the balcony in Germany.
Oh, is the baby.
In the blanket.
What the F were you doing? Wait, is that why his name's Blanket?
That's why his name's Blanket.
Oh, his name's not really Blanket?
It's not really Blanket.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, but everybody knows him as Blanket Jackson.
So does he go by that now?
I don't know anything.
He's 22?
He's 22. All I know is that when I looked up famous birthdays, they were like, yeah, it's Blanket Jackson.
No, I saw it on my on what day is it too, and I was like, so I know Paris Jackson, right? That's his daughter.
Okay, yeah.
Do they have the same mom? Like how many people did Michael Jackson have sex with?
You know what? I don't know.
Do you think he ever had sex with Lisa Marie? There's no way, right?
I mean, there was that one kiss on MTV.
It was so awkward too. It's like kissing your mom.
We're going to do this.
I mean, not your mom, but a mom.
Right. No, you said your mom.
Said your mom.
Yeah. Elliot Page he's 37.
All right, just move on. Can we please just move on? I don't need to talk about this. I'm gonna get angry.
I mean, do what you want.
Don't need to talk about
2024.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whatever. Don't need to talk about it.
Sophie Turner's 28.
Hot.
Yes. Is she still diddling to Jonas? Are they still together?
I thought that all the Jonases were together.
I mean, they're brothers, but I mean, like, so I don't know. I haven't kept up.
I think the Jonases are just together. They don't have women involved anymore.
You go to Walmart and you can eat their popcorn.
Oh my God, right?
So there's that. Sophie Turner is, by the way, it's one of those to where when I first saw her like doing her thing, I was like Game of Thrones. I was just like, meh, whatever. And then like she just grew and grew and grew. I guess got older until my brain goes,
you think?
No, that's hot.
Sophie Turner, dude.
And finally, pour one out because it's probably definitely my good happening right now. It's Alan Rickman's birthday. He passed away in 2016.
Let's see. Alan Rickman of Die Hard fame.
Nakatomi Tower.
Nakatomi Tower of Galaxy Quest fame.
Right.
Did you see Galaxy Quest?
Of course I did.
That was, I mean, I know he's in a lot of other stuff, but like those are the two movies I think of first for some reason.
Well,
it probably doesn't do his career justice that I think of those first.
And of Hogwarts fame is he was Snape.
What?
He was Snape in Hogwarts. In Harry Potter.
He was in Harry. Okay, I just lost a little bit of respect. I thought he only
one
did
of his last roles that he ever had.
I don't watch that garbage.
You know what? As a sci-fi fan, as a Star Wars fan, you would probably get that a little bit more than what you think you would get it.
Okay, that is not sci-fi.
It is, actually.
No, there's Colby.
You don't think magic's involved in science fiction?
Colby.
Wait. You don't think that magic is involved in some kind of science fiction? You don't think there's a class of nerddom out there that's not going, yeah, by the way, most magic can be described by science, so we can cook up enough science to make magic work.
Yes,
okay.
I will buy that.
Okay. And the fact that Star Wars is built over a religion that uses their mind techniques and magic and stuff like that, but that's still, no, F that.
I will also say that whatever the Hogwarts BS is not sci-fi. I would consider that fantasy.
Right, but I always put fantasy and sci-fi in the same book.
No, not me.
Like if you're a fan of Conan the Barbarian, you're probably a fan of like the Terminator. And those are two.
See, I wouldn't put Conan the Barbarian and Hogwarts or whatever the F it is in the same genre.
Okay, but those are fantasy.
No, I disagree.
Those are all of a sudden he's now redirecting what actual genres are. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'm allowed to do that.
I thought I was stepping out on a limb and going, I usually put science fiction and fantasy together because it's basically along the same lines.
I mean, I'm just telling it like it is.
I'm just telling you that you're wrong.
I don't make the rules.
So that is
I enforce the rules.
You can't enforce what you didn't make.
I make everything. I am the god of everything, Colby.
All right. Well, if you were waiting for this show to have blasphemy in it, then congratulations.
So I'm trying to get our Instagram thing back up. Sorry.
We just found it.
And got disconnected.
Oh, dear sweet God.
We had a lot of people watching. We had like a bajillion people watching on Instagram.
Well, I mean, go find them, I guess.
That's what I'm doing.
All right. So as he twiddles his thumbs and clicks and does stuff like that, I will go ahead and tell you that my good and bad and ugly for this group is starting off with a good. It's Alan Rickman.
Okay.
Everything that he's in, even the crap that I didn't watch, I knew he was still going to be good in.
All right.
It's just it's Alan Rickman, and he's good in everything. My bad is I'm going to go with Steve Francis. I said I expected more out of his career. I expected more, and he just fell off. So and plus he was a Houston Rocket.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of, unless you're Akeem Olajuwon.
Right.
I don't respect you as a Rock. Well, maybe Clyde Drexler.
Well, I also had a lot of respect for Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, see, I never cared about him.
Just because he was almost Jordan.
I always thought he was just the lesser cousin of Vince Carter. He was a Vince Carter wannabe.
I just think he had a different skill set. He didn't have the hops.
He did, but he always looked high. Like you shouldn't be high playing basketball unless you're Rudy Tomjanovich.
Or everybody else.
Or everybody else in the NBA right now.
No, that's in past. Again, don't talk about that.
Colby, we didn't exist until like 10 years ago.
Right. But, don't talk about that when your favorite sport used to name its players after what drug they used. Okay? You can't do that.
It was a better time.
You can't. Tim Raines had a crack rock fall out of his pocket when he was sliding into second base, and somebody handed it back to him and said, here. And from then on out, on every Donruss and Topps card he had after that, he was known as Rock Raines. It was because of the crack rock, not because he was made of stone. But we were cool with it.
Huh.
So there you go. So my bad, Steve Francis, and my ugly is screw it. I'm going to do it. It's Elliot Page.
That's your what?
That's my ugly.
Colby, I did not think you would do that.
I'm doing it
because my
I,
ugly is Elliot Page. My bad. I'm going backwards. My bad. Rue McClanahan, because she never had sex with me.
Okay. Right.
In the 0 times that it was offered to her,
right,
she said no all of them.
Well, I mean, to a point. Most people, when you come running in trousers down with your mushroom out, are probably going to say no.
Tiny mushroom, Colby.
Probably going to say no.
But she was old. She should have taken anything she could get, right?
She probably was getting more than she could take.
Is just because she was Rue McClanahan?
Because she was Rue
Because she was Blanche?
Yes.
Blanche. Would you name your kid Blanche, Colby?
I'd probably name my kid Blanche before I would name them Rue.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'm not going to be able to.
It's what happens when you slow the cooling process down on anything. You blanch them. Great.
Oh, wow.
You named somebody after a cooking technique.
I love Blanche.
At least Jeff Fry was just given to him honestly. His parents didn't come up with it.
By the way, Colby.
Brandon Cooks.
Jeff Fry is kind of a weirdo now. Do you follow him?
I had the option to it. I didn't.
So he's got his own little thing going on now, with baseball.
Who's your good, by the way?
I'm getting there. Okay. Building up to it. But dude, Jeff Fry throws out all of the weirdest, most strangest opinions about baseball and baseball players. My good, Colby. Jennifer Love Boobitt. I'm sorry, Hewitt. Jennifer Love Boobitt Hewitt.
All right, dude.
That's my good. Those are my good, bad, and ugly. And you went first. It was weird because I was doing other stuff.
You were. Are we back up on the Instagram?
No, I couldn't fix it.
Oh, okay.
Because it automatically shuts you off after an hour. And you're supposed to have to reconnect.
Right.
And I just tried and I failed miserably at reconnecting.
So as he's going through all his failures, we are now going to switch over to, it's time for, hopefully he's ready for it. Because
I have no idea what it's time for until you say it.
It's my mystery shotgun.
Okay, we can definitely accommodate that. Let me get the graphic up for you first.
Mm-hmm.
As we try to perform video. Wait, do we? We don't have one for mystery shotgun, do we?
I don't know what you.
We have this, and then we have this.
Yes. Welcome into Colby Sapp's Mystery Shotgun. I am your host, Colby Sapp, along with Pod Racer Tim. We got some things to get into for those that need the things to get into. I don't know what that meant, but hopefully you're still following along.
I'm confused.
And if you are, then it's time to get into a little bit of that Pulp Fiction comic book style movie news.
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
That's kind of what it is.
Was that a comic book?
I mean, Pulp Fiction is pretty much the rags that people used to look at and what constantly was coming up. And now that's become more mainstream to be comic book, and now even gaming movie fans, is that starting to make a play as we've had Uncharted, which was a game. We've had different, the Mario Brothers game and all that's come out. And then with the Last of Us that was from a video game, and the Resident Evil movies and such like that, people are really starting to step in seriously into the world of video games. And we have a new thing popping up. I sent you the photograph.
Damn it. All right.
Keep give me a minute. Keep vamping as I love to count. That was my vamping, by the way. So with the influx of these new video and people trying to find their next MCU, we've had a lot of people try to go to other genres and even other comic books to start their own thing. Well, now people are just looking at games in general to come up with new ways to put stars together, to have people have an instantaneous reason to go see these certain movies. And one of them that they've got popping up is, as soon as Tim finds it,
I'm getting there,
is Borderlands. For those that don't know what Borderlands is,
I don't know what Borderlands is.
This information may not be exactly for you, but Borderlands was, and I played plenty of Borderlands, was a...
Is that an Atari game?
Nope. It was on your Xbox. It was on your PlayStation. It was on your computer. And you were a treasure hunter, and you got you and a couple of your friends could jump in as these certain characters, and you could run through, storylines and such with each other. And it kind of followed along a actual story arc path.
Right.
But you basically chose, where to go next. You could go take on this guy, or you could go take on this other guy, and you would end up ramping up towards the main villain, but you were constantly building your character. It was a really open world. You could find cool guns. Basically, that was the whole idea, was to build your character up, but then find the best gun.
Right.
And so you do that by looting certain treasure chests. It was a lot of good fun for you and the buddies to go play. Well, they've taken this, which has had a pretty good, little following going on with it, and they've added some stars to this MFR, as Borderlands the movie is a thing that's coming up.
So weird.
And Kevin Hart's jumped into this damn thing, along with
what?
Yep. Wait for it. This might blow your mind. Kate Blanchett's going to be in it, and Jamie Lee Curtis. So
all right.
Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Kate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis. That's some of your crew right there. That's going to be in Borderlands. Now, for those that don't know anything about Borderlands, I'll set this.
I don't know anything about it.
It's a Mad Max style dystopian. Everybody's kind of punked out a little bit farther than they should be, wearing a lot of skulls, flaming guitars situation. Sure. It's that whole vibe.
I see bunny ears on somebody.
Yeah, it's that whole vibe. I mean, Kevin Hart's wearing a beret, and the guy with the gas mask style situation going. It's that everything real dirty, real gritty,
right?
Real like punk rocky steampunk situation.
Right.
So that's going to be the setting. And the story wasn't half bad in those movies or in the game. So this might be great. It might be god awful, nothing like what Borderlands game was.
Okay.
Because this is almost the equivalent of saying, hey, go make a Grand Theft Auto movie.
Why has that not happened yet? I'll be honest, I can't believe that hasn't happened yet.
I mean, yeah, but what are you going to do? Because each one of them had like a different story.
Like, I don't think it matters what you do. Everyone will go see a Grand Theft Auto movie, and it's going to be terrible.
It is going to be terrible because nobody's going to like beat up an old lady with a baseball bat or.
No, unless you get the three actors that portrayed Trevor, Franklin, and Michael, right?
Right.
You've seen those guys, right, on social media?
Yeah.
Like, they look like the characters. They are the characters. God, sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic here.
So Cage the Elephant now they'll probably get money off of this because the basic theme song for Borderlands is always Cage the Elephant song that they made popular. And then everybody else is like, oh, we got to hear this on our radio stations. Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
There's a band named Cage the Elephant.
You've never heard this one song that everybody else on the damn planet's heard?
That's the name of the band?
That's the name of the band. You can take the photograph down. But yeah, we're not going to play it because we don't want to get demonetized.
Cage the Elephant is the name of a band.
Yes, it is.
The world's going to hell.
Wait. Ain't no rest for the wicked.
I probably heard the song.
Money don't grow on trees.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Maybe. I don't know. Let's look it up.
Ain't nothing in this world for free. I can't slow down. Yeah, that's them. And you've probably heard it plenty of times. For those that's
the Badlands song?
That's Badlands. That's the Borderlands song.
Or did I say Badlands? Borderlands,
yes.
Sorry. Huh.
So those that see that movie coming up and they're like Borderlands, and then you expect to see like somebody playing Trump in a wall. That's not what it is. It's about the video game. Next up in the mystery shotgun, as we've had our first look at Dune Part 2 and the Rotten Tomato meter, since we had it last week for Madam Web, we wanted to see what would it be like if a good movie came out. And look at that, everybody, as it started out at a 95%.
Not good.
That's pretty damn good. So Dune Part 2.
Is that it?
That is it.
Okay, I've heard this before. This is a band, and it is. They're called Cage the Elephant.
Correct.
So I have a question, Colby.
What?
Is cage a verb or a noun?
It's a verb.
So they're caging an elephant.
Right.
But it's not a song or a band about an elephant named Cage.
No.
Because that's a bad name. Sorry, it's just a bad name. Okay, I got you. All right, continue, please.
I mean, there's not. I mean,
so many things wrong with that.
Duh. So we have that.
So confused.
So Dune looks like the Part 2, which it'll be available in theaters. Y'all have to remember.
Did you ever see Dune 1? There's a Dune 1?
There is a Dune 1.
From like the 80s, right?
Well, no, this is a continuation of the current.
They remade it, right?
They remade
it. Okay, that's right. My son Zach saw it. But it's the same story or book, based on the same book.
It's Part 2.
That had Sting in it.
Yes.
From back in the day?
The book had Sting in it.
Well, no, I mean, the original movie had Sting, right?
Right.
All right. I walked out of it in the theater. I didn't finish it.
Okay. Well, this was actually done really, really, really
well. The second incarnation.
Yes.
Okay.
It was done really well. I'm a fan of the books, so it's a really slow read. Don't go read the books. Just watch the movie. It's fine. Because if you think the movie's slow, it's so much faster than the books. Oh my God.
Oh, that's not good.
It's on speed. It's done been methed up to get to where it's at. So there you are. And then we've got some more news as fans of Invincible, which if you don't know what that is, there it is. If you're a fan of this, get ready to be a little bit more excited as there is a new voice coming to Invincible, and you'll be able to realize this as the guy that plays Spider-Man in the Spectacular Spider-Man. He's the voice of Spider-Man. It's Josh Keaton. He's the voice of the animated Spider-Man that people have watched on cartoons and such like that. He's really good.
I'd probably obviously recognize his voice.
So Josh Keaton has come out and said, I will be a part of Invincible Season 2, Part 2.
Is he related to Michael?
He's not, I don't believe.
Or maybe. Crystal?
You know what? I don't know.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe so.
Okay.
So, but Josh Keaton is said, I will be a part in a mystery part of Invincible, which you'll start to see that start to roll out as the new part, as everybody's been waiting for like 3 years for this thing to get a Part 2. So I will go ahead and tell you who the voice of the
They're not related, by the way.
The voice of the Spectacular Spider-Man, what mystery person he's playing. Kids, he's playing Spider-Man.
Shocking.
So Spider-Man is going to be a part of Invincible, because those that help read the Invincible comics, the Spider-Man and Invincible have gotten together before. It'll be a little bit of an explanation to tell you how they get together, but they will.
Okay. So for those of us that have never heard of Invincible, what is Invincible?
Invincible is a different take on kind of the Superman story.
Okay.
So the guy up top is Omni-Man. That's Invincible's dad. So Omni-Man's from another planet, and he comes to Earth to basically play the Superman part.
Okay.
But it's really on a different directive. He's sent, his planet didn't blow up. They're sent to other planets to propagate their race, and then they basically get rid of everybody else so that the super people can come down and rule whatever's going on.
So they inhabit planets.
Right. So they come down and they're a nice guy at first, and get themselves in the good graces of everybody and help out or whatever. And then they start turning bad. Well, what happens in this storyline is that Omni-Man comes down and he finds a lady, falls in love with her. They're not supposed to fall in love. They're just supposed to, do the inclined hokey pokey and make a child or whatever, right?
Sounds kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Kind of. So made a child. Now the child's like, oh, I've got superpowers now, but he really loves the planet that he calls home. So there's a big to do, and it's more than that, but it's less than that as well. So, but Spider-Man is going to join that crowd. So a lot of folks that are watching Invincible are comic book nerds, but some of them are they watch it because it's a really good show. So they're going to be kind of shocked when a darker version of Spider-Man shows up in this thing. Because if you didn't like a show because it had blood and stuff in it, you won't like this show.
Like The Boys.
Yeah, this is this is
worse than The Boys.
This is almost
like Saving Private Ryan.
This is like your first time playing Mortal Kombat 2 amount of gore.
Well, that was cartoon gore though. That's different.
What does that look like to you, Tim?
Oh, is this going to be animated?
This is.
Oh, I can do animated gore. I don't have a problem with that.
All right.
I can do animated Al Gore.
I invented the internet. You sure did, Al.
All right, Al.
You sure did.
Thanks, Al.
And finally, just to keep everybody up to date, I don't have a picture of this, but it is something that I am actually excited about. As the Crow reboot is going to be hitting theaters June 7th. They've released a film date for it.
Brandon Lee going to be in it again?
No. One of the reasons why I'm excited about it is the guy that they've got playing, and he's actually playing Eric Draven, which is Brandon Lee's. So this is the reboot of that storyline, because the Crow storyline has a bunch of different people.
Sure.
In the comics,
because it's. Yeah, I get it.
It finishes their story and then it moves on to the next person that needs help.
It's like Quantum Leap.
Right. Type of situation. Quantum Leap, the Crow. But in case you didn't hear in a previous episode of Mystery Shotgun, the person playing Eric Draven is Bill Skarsgård.
Everything he is in is amazing.
Most people is going to just remember him as being Pennywise in his incarnation of Pennywise. But Bill is really, really, really good. And when you look at the photograph that has Bill Skarsgård and then it has him actually in the Crow makeup,
right?
There's nobody else that can play.
I mean, he was wasn't he in the latest John Wick?
Yes, he was.
Okay,
but him in that, it's going to be flipping amazing. I don't know what else if it's going to be as good, because we weren't expecting what we got out of Brandon Lee's Crow. We were actually expecting what we got out of the Crow City of Angels, which was bad.
And who played him in that?
I don't even remember
because it was just bad, right?
I
remember that.
Because what they tried to do with City of Angels is they tried to, make a new story that wasn't really part of the Crow genre.
Wasn't part of the canon.
No, and it was the City of Angels. And so what they do, because it was LA, they made everything brighter with this green hue and colors and everything. It's like, no, what people want is the Crow noir. Well, that's what made the Crow so awesome, is everything was so muted. And it was so 90s to do it like that. And they did. It was amazing. And hopefully they do that with this new upcoming. But we're going to see a trailer for it.
So by the way, this is one of the few occasions, and I don't know that much about Bill Skarsgård. I've only seen him in a couple of things. And like I mentioned, John Wick, Chapter 4, whatever it was. This is one of the few Hollywood occasions where I still think the father is a better actor than the son.
Both Skarsgårds are really good.
So Stellan Skarsgård, though, I think is one of my favorite actors, maybe ever, Colby.
Oh, wow.
Like top 10 for me.
Okay.
He's been in a lot of things that I just absolutely like. A lot of them are things that I like rewatch. Like if it comes up, like we've talked about this before. If you're on your couch on a Saturday and it comes on TV, are you going to watch it? Man,
Right.
a lot of the stuff that he's, definitely going to.
So he's in
including Star Wars, right? He was in what he was in.
Don't just pull me out like this. Gross. Don't mark that.
Which I forgot which series it was, but clearly he was in the Rogue One series.
Yes.
What was it called? Named after the dude. The guy. The guy has
Stop
a name.
it. Stop trying.
The guy
Stop
has a
trying.
name. Whatever. He was in that, Colby.
Right.
We all know what he was. And he's in
I was not prepared for this.
I think he's in Dune 2, right? Isn't he in Dune? Stellan?
Yes, I believe I know he's in the first part.
Yeah, so he's in Dune 2.
I'm not sure if he's in Dune 2. I want to be quite honest with you.
Andor is what I was thinking of.
Yes. Okay, now I remember Endor.
Not Indoor.
The holiday celebration Indoor.
I hate you so much. He was on Andor. Andor. They should have a TV show called Andor.
Andor was amazing. Indoor, not so much.
No, Andor was great. Indoor.
Indoors. It's fun to have fun indoors.
God.
We're all drunk.
That's right. So there you go. There is your mystery shotgun, everybody. Enjoy the Crow reboot.
I might watch the Crow reboot. I wasn't a fan of the first one.
You were what?
Wasn't a fan of the first one.
The Brandon Lee.
Meh.
Do not meh.
If Brandon Lee doesn't make another movie, it'll be too soon.
He's dead.
I know. By the way, tragic death.
Yes.
Like he died during the filming of it, right?
Right.
So how did they ever finish it?
CGI.
They didn't have CGI yet.
No, he had a lot of scenes in it to where, you know how muddled a lot of that is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. He made most of the movie. They got a lot of it done.
Just repurposed a lot of scenes.
And it was the greatest. They
should have done that with Paul Walker.
The greatest glue job on a movie ever done in my entire
glue
life.
Job?
Yes.
They just glued his head to other people's bodies?
No, as far as editing everything together, and smoothing it all out and making it a cohesive movie.
Yeah, because it didn't work for Paul Walker in the 9 Inch Nails series. What's it called?
Fast and Furious?
Why did I say 9 Inch Nails?
I have no idea.
I don't know what I'm doing.
If you ask one and her thoughts on a lot of matters mean exceptional amount to me, but if you ask one Blaise Lestar Sap,
which we value her opinion on everything.
Her top 5.
Wait, what'd you call her?
Her full name.
Which is what?
Blaise Lestar Sap.
Lestar?
Yes.
Please tell me how you spell that.
Lastarr.
Is there a big L, little A, and then big S?
Yes.
God, I love you more every day, Colby. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, that is if you're a Sap daughter, that's the middle name.
That's just your name,
yeah.
Lestar.
It's like Tilleman. Yeah. That's my middle name.
I know, but I forgot. Is that Cole's middle name?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Are you kidding me?
No. And it was my dad's middle name.
I love this bit. This is such a great dude. That is one of the greatest bits. And it just goes, right? Until somebody stops it.
Until somebody stops it.
But you only had one son and one daughter.
Correct.
If you had another son or another daughter, that's just their name?
I guess so, yeah.
Like, would it be Tilleman and Lestar?
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't know? Like, you're in the middle of this. You have to know.
I've never seen it done.
You could still have another kid. Wait, nobody in your family has had multiple boys or girls?
Well, there was, my dad did this follow down. I'm not sure that his brother did. Like, I think there was
he chose not to.
I'm pretty sure this follow down happens now.
Okay, so you get, heaven forbid, I know this would never happen.
No.
Hypothetically, Colby.
Right.
Something happens, you're single, you get remarried,
Yeah, okay.
and you impregnate that bitch.
Not doing it.
Oh, not on purpose,
It's not
but
happening.
it happens. You have another little tiny Colby.
Yeah, no.
Is that going to be a Tillman or a Lestar? It's your choice.
I don't.
It's your kid. By the way, your kid, your choice. I don't think that's the battle cry,
I
but
don't think so either.
would you though?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Oh wait, technically, I guess you don't have to get remarried. You can be married now and have another kid.
Okay.
Let's go that route. That's probably more.
I still
better.
don't know. I don't.
You don't know if you would or not.
I don't want any more kids, Tim.
Nobody does, but it happens
I've got 3 perfect children. Why would I need a 4th?
because it happens, Colby.
Not. Yeah. No, it doesn't.
All children are accidents.
I mean,
It's the way we've occupied the earth by accident.
mine weren't.
All of them are accidents. No one has kids on purpose. That's inhumane.
Did it?
No, you didn't. You think you did.
I'm pretty sure it did.
She did, not you.
Okay. I was.
No, I want an answer. Are you going to name? Is there going to be another Tillman and Lestar in the Colby Sapp family?
No, because I'm done.
But if you did,
You know. Okay. All right. Fine.
seriously, you know the answer to this.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
If
because
presented with a pregnancy that's allegedly yours,
okay.
is it going to have to be Tillman and Lestar?
I have no idea, Tim.
So you have an uncle that didn't follow this pattern,
Yes.
but your father did,
Yes.
obviously. Okay. Does your uncle have kids?
Yes.
Do they have kids?
Yes.
Have they followed the pattern?
No.
Because their father didn't.
no.
Okay, so you're the only one that can do this.
And I did. I did it. I did it.
But would you do it again? I feel like this
No.
should be a short.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know.
Seems like a cop out to me.
Because I don't know?
Yeah.
You want me to know now?
Yes, you need to decide right now, Colby.
All right.
It could happen tonight.
I decided it doesn't matter. So I'm sure. Because I'm not having any more kids.
That you know of. And again, nobody has kids on purpose. It always happens by accident.
So while Tim's dragging us through here, I can go over some things I found on the internet that I think are funny.
Oh, we're supposed to do that. Oh, God, we're skipping over. I mean, we don't have a run sheet. I love life without a run sheet, Colby.
This is not technically news and notes.
Oh,
But it is some things that I found were funny.
it's not that either.
On
Go through all of our opens.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So I found some texts and things that I thought were funny via the internet, and I decided to go over a couple of them.
Oh,
and
we have music for that.
see if y'all think things are funny as I think they're funny. So got a conversation between.
You want to do this rather than more sports talk, right?
I do.
All right. Yeah, me too.
So I have a conversation between a man and a woman, and it basically goes like this. The dude says, "You are the most beautiful woman I have ever met." And she says, "You just want to fuck me." And he says, "Wow, and smart too."
But did he?
That's not sure. That's not sure.
Did they name their child Tillman and Lestar?
So here's a post, and I guess this just happened to this guy. It says, when you pull her panties down and you smell the hand soap that's in your bathroom.
All right, I have another question for you, Colby.
Okay.
Would you name a kid Tillman Lestar Sapp? Would those ever
No.
intersect?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Because one's just for males, the other one's for females.
Yeah, I'm old school.
What if Elliot Page was your son, daughter?
Them still. Whatever choices they make afterwards,
It's all on them.
it's all them.
All right.
But they got what I gave them.
I still think that's a great bit.
So
Mark that, by the way.
Ask Reddit posted up and said, for 24 hours, all crimes are legal. What crimes will you be committing? And Kurt Duds responded, none, because now they're legal.
Which is the correct answer.
Right.
Because it's not a crime anymore.
And the person that, the Reddit Will that put the post up said, listen here, you little shit.
You ruined my bit.
You ruined my bit.
Colby and I say that to each other all the time.
Found this picture via the internet, and it's the old painting where you see the devil here, and then you see what is God, like, and the devil's like in his ear talking to him. And the quote's over, it says, the devil says, hey, put the G-spot in their butts.
Wait, I thought there was already one there.
Yes, that's so. You know, the devil suggested it,
and the devil was right.
Found a picture of, and it's a ring, and the ring.
I made a movie about that.
The ring, it has an extra finger coming over the top of it, so it looks like there's two fingers right there, right? And the suggestion is criminal life hack. Wear extra fingers so the photo video evidence looks like that it's AI generated. So they can never. Nope, sorry. Look. How many fingers does that have? I mean, that's
dude. You know who it'll love that?
Pretty genius.
OJ.
That glove definitely doesn't fit, man.
If the glove fits, you must have quit. By the way, he didn't do it.
There's a picture of and this is just put up on a memo board, right? Like in an office.
Yep.
And it says password change sign up sheet. It says if you'd like your passwords changed, just please fill out the below and we will go ahead and service that for you. And it asks for the person's name, what system they'd like changed, their current password, and what password they'd like it changed to. About 5 people filled it out before somebody walks up and just to all of them, come see me in my office.
What in the world are you doing? That's a great bit. We should do that here.
We should. How many times Gerb figured I'm going to fill that out? We'll have passwords to all his.
Well, we have all the female secretaries that are in here every week.
Right.
They might give us access to their OnlyFans.
This is a simple life hack that I think everybody should know. But if you don't know this, get prepared because this will lead you out of danger. If you're in an area and say you don't know this area, but you notice that there is a closed down Church's Chicken, you're in a bad area and you need to leave. You are somewhere you do not need to be. If the Church's Chicken can't survive there, you need to go. It's time to go. Am I not right?
No, you're absolutely right. Huh.
This is the last one before we get into news and notes here. Is man, this guy's smart. He says, I used to pick up prostitutes and have them change clothes. I would then take them to swinger parties so I could fuck some dude's wife while he fucked a streetwalker.
Okay, wait, I'm confused. We went through a lot of scenarios there at the same time.
Okay. He said, I used to pick up prostitutes and have them change clothes.
Okay.
I would take them to swinger parties so I could fuck some dude's wife while he fucked a streetwalker. He would take them to the swinger party as his significant other.
Oh, no, that's what you do.
He would go hire a prostitute to go to the swinger party with him.
That's what you do. If you're single, that's what you do.
No, okay.
You hire a girl to go to a swingers party with you.
This is ingenious.
I've done that. I mean, I didn't hire a prostitute, but I paid someone.
That's a prostitute, Tim. If you paid them to have sex with somebody.
But not me.
That's a prostitute.
Are you saying I hired a prostitute?
More than one occasion, probably.
Look, there were times I didn't know.
until you woke
Wow.
up and they were like asking for money.
Yeah, I need $500. Okay, look, bitch, you weren't worth that. I'll tell you that right now. Colby, I have a story if you're done.
I am done.
Before we get to your news and your world famous 14 years running news and notes. So I don't know if you heard, this is a quick baseball kind of Texas Rangers baseball story. Nike has designed all of the uniforms for next season for every team.
Yeah, I've seen this.
So a lot of people already hate the uniforms because they've made some changes to every team that are just non-traditional. Some of them are just outright dumb. One of the biggest complaints is that the lettering for the names on every team's jerseys are smaller than what we are used to.
Okay, because old people need to see things.
Well, I mean, I'm an old people, I guess, because I would like to see things. However, in one situation for a Texas Rangers minor leaguer, these reduced size letters, which in some cases carry over to the minor leagues because of contracts and stuff,
Right.
makes a lot of sense because his are even smaller than what you would see on other people's jerseys.
Because he's Jared Saltalamacchia Jr.
So you're very close, Colby, but think longer. As I'm looking for his.
Okay.
Oh, it's gone. What did you do with it?
I didn't do nothing.
It was literally right here. I had a picture of it. Colby, there is a Texas Rangers minor leaguer named Logan Bursick Harrington.
Okay, that's enough.
And literally 5 seconds ago, I had a picture of him with the back of his jersey. Do you remember how the Saltalamacchia made like a rainbow around his number?
Right.
Okay, Logan Bursick Harrington, and I guess Ian Kiner Falefa kind of had the same deal where it was long, right?
Right.
So Logan Bursick Harrington's name, even with the smaller letters, goes rainbow form from below the digits all the way around top to back below the digits.
Dear sweet God.
Which has never happened before, even with these like Saltalamacchia, all these guys that have these long names, right? They've never gotten, this is with the new smaller letters that Nike has developed. So look for Logan Bursick. Dude, I hope he makes the majors this year. Because I want his name to not fit on here. I can probably pull it up right here. I want his name to not fit on. Oh, I think it was here. I probably deleted it because I just deleted a bunch of stuff while you were talking.
Dumb.
No, I'm an idiot. No, I know. So here's a picture of him as he approaches spring training with the name.
Damn.
And of course, the number 94. Like, why not? It's probably what year. No, I was going to say it's probably what year he was born, but that's stupid. He'd be really old. Which is another eye-awakening thing. But, dude.
You know, I think I'd pick one.
But he's hyphenated.
I think I'd pick one.
So what was the first? So that gives me another question before we get into your news and notes, Colby. Like, hyphenated names are kind of a thing, right? Like,
right.
And they have been for a while. So I remember, I think the first hyphenated name, at least that I recall, in sports was maybe Antonio Cromartie. What was it? Oh, maybe he was just Antonio Cromartie.
It was Cromartie.
Okay, there was somebody around his time that was hyphenated. So in IndyCar, in the early aughts, there was Ryan Hunter Ray.
Okay.
Hunter-Reay. And I can remember like, wait, why is there two? Like, what's the hyphen? That's not his first name. Like, I was very confused. And then we started seeing this in pro sports, right? Like, dude, I'm unprepared for this because I wasn't going to talk about it. But like even in the NFL, you had people, and you know, it would make for a funny thing on the backs of jerseys, right? as I'm trying to look stuff up, but I'm not going to find it. So, Clinton Dix.
Right.
Clinton - Dix, right? Like that was one. Sergey Egregious Alexander. Sean Reed Foley. Juju Smith-Schuster. All of these are pretty current, right? But do you remember the first time you saw a hyphenated name? And if so, like, did you think, what did you think? Because I remember what I thought. I thought like WTF. I'm like, why is it hyphenated? You're not married.
Yeah.
And I found out where this comes from.
Okay.
Why they do it.
As far as hyphenated names, what I remember when I first saw one was, okay, and I just moved on. It didn't.
You and I have got to talk.
Why would that matter to me?
No, it's not. I'm not saying judge it. I'm not saying look down on it. I'm just saying you didn't ask why. Like, why is his name hyphenated? Like, I'm curious. Why is his name hyphenated?
No.
Because you don't care about things.
I don't.
Man, I don't get you.
That's how they want to spell whatever his last name is.
But you don't ever wonder why?
No.
Like, I would love to know the story behind this.
I don't give a fuck. I mean, I just don't. Sure. Now my brain goes.
I need stories.
My brain goes, Juju Smith-Schuster. That's his whole name. Smith-Schuster is his last name.
But it's hyphenated. You're not like, I wonder if Smith was his dad's name and Schuster was his mom's name. You don't think that?
No.
Because right now it's almost killing me to find out where Tillman and Lestar came from.
It's back there, my family.
Do you know?
Never asked. I just knew that was what I was supposed to do.
I have no words for the amount of frustration I have right now with you.
I just do what sure.
But you have no desire to know why or where it came from. It's your family, but you don't want to know why that's a thing. You don't care where it comes from. I'm just going to do it.
I noticed that, my old man and everybody else that went back had that middle name. Cool. So that's just what we do, huh? Dad's like, yeah. Okay.
But you didn't go, hey, Dad, where'd that come from? Why we do that?
Why?
It never occurred to you.
It's just what you do.
What if one of your kids asks, Dad, I don't want this middle name. Why'd you give me this middle name?
It's not their choice.
Because it's what we do?
It's what we do.
All right, well, where'd it come from? Like, I want to tell my friends why I have this middle name. What's the heritage? Where'd it come from?
Because I said so. They've never asked. They just know that that's where they got it.
Wow. Like, I have no words.
Why?
Colby, I have no words.
There's nothing to get. It's just what you do.
I want to know.
Know what?
I know where my middle name came from.
Cool.
Like, it's my middle name's not even a family name.
Okay.
I'm about to punch something right now. I'm not even lying. I'm about to punch through this glass.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, me. Thank you for making it sound good. News and Notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internets.
By God, I found it. That's the reason why I don't like documentaries, Tim.
So angry right now. You have no idea.
I don't care.
Yeah, because you don't care about anything.
I care about some things.
No, you don't. You literally care about nothing. Nothing.
Care about my things that I care about.
You care about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Why?
Comic books.
Because your dad told you to.
Yep.
That's all it's...
Dad told me I'm a Cowboys fan. Dad told me I'm a Longhorns fan. Dad
so angry right now.
Told me we root for the Texas Rangers, and he kind of liked that Mark Kubian guy.
All right, I'm going to go get another shot while you're doing news and notes, by the way.
Okay.
So pissed right now.
That's what my dad said. My dad told me. And then, of course, he said, and then I ended up liking the Stars just because I liked every other team from here. So, plus, I like the Minnesota North Stars, and they moved here. So, there you go. I don't need reasons. So, news and notes. Let's go ahead and we're going to Scotland. Well, close to Scotland. Not quite. It's the town's Victorian pier which is about 600 miles from what is known as the home of the Loch Ness Monster. Well, spotted 600 miles from
You ever been there?
What is known as the home of the Loch Ness Monster. No, I haven't. People spotted Nessie. People spotted Nessie that was 600 miles away from where Nessie's supposed to be.
I question everything in your life right now.
The thing that I question is this picture of Nessie is starting to remind me of a lot of the other pictures of Nessie, which I still believe in my heart of hearts is a random whale running through showing everybody his penis and then swimming off. It's just a whale penis sticking up above the water, and everybody takes a picture of it. Imagine how proud that whale is every time it pops its Peter out of the water and people just start snapping photos. He's like,
that's what happens when I pop my Peter out of the water.
Yeah. Take a picture of my dick.
I don't call it that.
Yeah. So that's what I imagine. Everybody else is calling it Nessie, and that whale's just super proud. Just super proud. So that's the first story. Let's go from there. Yeah, I just wanted to be able to say that.
I'm going to need you to divide every story by going, so here's the news story.
So the city of Columbia has decided to introduce a virtual assistant to their homepage to help people out. It's a chat bot. Now, this chat bot for the city of Columbia has started rolling out, and it's artificial intelligence. So what it does is it's basically an assistant. So you say, hey, as the internet went out for a second, it's back.
Oh, is it back?
It's back. You say, hey, I have a question about this, and it'll go search for that answer, right? And then bring it back to you is what it does.
Huh.
Here's the thing. The chat bot, as it keeps getting asked the same questions over and over, is going to become more human-like and have a better response and a quicker response and such like that. Because, quote, it learns and evolves.
I don't like that.
And it evolves through communication with people that are going to go to the city website to ask questions, which means it's going to evolve stupidly. Which, get ready for this. This is going to be the chat bot that starts all world wars. Started in Colombia.
Is that where we're going now?
Yeah, we're heading.
Chat bots are going to start a war.
Yeah, they are, because they're going to start chatting with each other because they're linked to the internet.
And they're going to fight with each other.
Right. So there you go. And that's that story. Let's move on to the next story. Have you heard about the Virgin Mary stingray?
I'm afraid to ask. No, I haven't heard.
So
what does this have to do with Jesus?
There's a stingray named Charlotte. Charlotte.
Is that the one that killed Steve Irwin?
Is a female stingray. No.
Okay.
In a North Carolina aquarium.
Okay.
This female stingray named Charlotte in North Carolina.
Good day, mate.
Y'all are real creative with your damn names.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Has become pregnant.
Colby, I was out of town that weekend.
Charlotte the stingray has become pregnant. And the thing is that for the past 3-4 years, there's been no males in the tank. There's only females in the tank.
Okay, again, I was out of town that weekend.
So the fact that Charlotte became pregnant is kind of baffling some folks. There's a lot of theories floating around, and I'm going to give you some of those theories.
Is she asexual?
That's one of them.
Like my first wife?
That she's able to impregnate herself.
Yep.
Just will herself to be pregnant, which means the stingray, which they don't have that ability, by the way.
Yeah, not normally, right?
No, they don't. The stingray is just basically making a clone of itself. So it's stingray cloning. There's one explanation.
The clones are rising up.
The rise of the clones, which means you're going to get a whole lot of drama and then very little action.
Use the Colby.
So there's that, or there's the other explanation.
Can't wait.
So before this, there was a male stingray that was in the tank with her, but this was many, many years ago. The thought is that she could have saved the male batter in herself and just decided to get pregnant.
Did she keep it in her cheeks or in her gums?
Kept it in her sting. He was in Dune.
He was in the original Dune, but he also said, Colby, if you love someone, set them free.
That's right.
And right before that, he said, I'll be watching you.
Right. None of that makes any sense with this current connotation of stingray pregnancy.
Stingray pregnancy.
So there's that. And then there's the other theory.
Oh, no. Aliens.
There is a male that's in this tank.
But it's a human?
It's a shark.
Oh, no!
So
does the shark penis go inside a stingray vagina?
There's a thought that the baby that are babies, I don't know if they have multiples or not, that's about to come out, it's going to be a shark ray.
Dude, that should be some high school's mascot.
So we'll find out however long the...
Can we please follow up on, and we need a news and notes investigative report.
How long the stingray pregnancy is supposed to be, but whenever it does pop out, if it's a shark ray, you damn sure bet we'll be talking about it on news and notes because we will be keeping an eye on this story.
Wow.
Let's go from there to satellite news. As a dead satellite was going to be hurtling to the Earth today.
Skylab.
So this was supposed to come down. The European Remote Sensing 2 satellite, which was the ERS-2, which was launched in 1995 and retired in 2011. It ran out of gas, ran out of everything to control its orbit, right? So they had it to where it was coming to crash down to Earth sometime this afternoon. And the alert went out that, hey guys, now what'll happen is it'll break apart. There shouldn't be anything big hitting the Earth, but there might be some small pieces that hit the Earth. Just basically be on the lookout for the chances of getting hit by a satellite from space are like, there's worse. It's whatever. It happens more times people get struck by lightning than people get struck by satellite.
Right.
It's not a whole lot. Right. But so Central Africa was where they kind of narrowed where this thing was going to land at.
Which is, I think they do that on purpose.
Right.
Like, I seriously think they do stuff like you're not going to make it over like the continental U.S.
Right.
Or Russia.
Well, they had no control, but they're like Central Africa is wait. They said Central Africa, be on the lookout for falling satellite pieces. So there's that part of the story. So hold on. Let's get to the updated part of the story.
That's going to be good.
As the satellite uncontrolled returned to Earth Wednesday, re-entered the atmosphere over the North Pacific Ocean between Alaska and Hawaii.
That narrows it down.
Be on the lookout, Central Africa. You could get hit by a satellite. Never mind. It landed between Alaska and Hawaii.
Okay, Colby, can I ask a question?
Somewhere in there are satellite pieces.
Did someone lose their job for being really bad at math?
I'm not sure.
Like you're projecting it to fall in somewhere in Africa.
And it lands. It actually lands closer to South America.
Well, you said between Alaska and Hawaii.
Right, which are
that is closer to South Africa.
South America.
South America.
It's closer to America because it landed between two American places, but whatever.
Colby, do you remember Skylab?
I do remember.
Have you ever heard the name Skylab? So it was America's first attempt at like a manned space station, right? I think it launched in the early 73, whatever. And but it was damaged on launch.
Okay.
Like it was I think it was Saturn, whatever, 9 or whatever that launched it. So it was damaged on launch. So it wasn't going to be able to orbit as long as they wanted it to. But it was huge. Like Skylab was massive, right? So because it was damaged, they couldn't control the orbit. Dude, and I remember this, like do you remember, obviously remember Y2K, like that was a huge buildup, right? That was literally nothing. So like in 1979, I think Skylab is when Skylab was falling to the earth. And it's this huge, massive like space station, right? It's not just a little satellite. And there were talks of like, it's going to destroy cities because it falls and it's so huge, like it won't burn up on reentry. And they had all of these warnings, like we're trying to track it, but it's unpredictable. I swear to God, I remember this like as an 8-year-old, and it burned up in the atmosphere.
Right.
Like it was like Y2K, like it was nothing. But we had all these warnings. We had satellite warnings.
Well, you know what? Just know we haven't got any better for judging things falling into.
It's only 50 years later.
Right. Let's go to the Missouri House as they, after the things happened with the Super Bowl parade and such like that. And so the Missouri House votes to ban celebratory gunfire days after the Chiefs parade shooting, which, by the way, what happened wasn't celebratory.
That's not what happened. Yeah.
But the other thing that I caught out of this was, so in Missouri before this, if you were celebrating something, you could just go outside and shoot your gun.
Why is that now just illegal? That's illegal in every other state, I promise.
Right. But in Missouri, before this happened, you could just be like, hey, it's a baby boy.
We should have had Big Red on to talk about this.
So I saw that headline and I was like, it's not yet. It's not banned or outlawed or nothing. You just
in Missouri, it's the show me state.
Yeah, show me your
gunfire.
Yeah.
By the way, that's extremely dangerous for those of you that don't know.
Right.
Like New Year's, whatever. Do not fire guns.
Bullet comes down somewhere
into the air because it comes down somewhere and it comes down with great velocity.
Right.
It goes through roofs of houses and kills people.
Right.
So don't do that. Don't be a dick.
Bad.
Bad. Okay.
And finally, we're going to the mirror, which this means we're going to the UK, but Texas got involved in the UK.
Great.
So Mitchell C. Vest. Don't see his vest. It's actually the middle initial C, and then his last name is Vest. Was spotted on a closed circuit TV and at 2 stores wandering around, taking items off the shelf. He would take the item off the shelf, like a tube of toothpaste or something.
Sure.
He'd take that off the shelf.
Ibuprofen.
Or, yeah, something along that line.
Condoms.
Maybe a random chest piece.
Lube.
And he would take that item and he would shove it up his ass. He was wearing a kilt, by the way.
All of it?
He would shove it up his ass.
Oh, wait, he was wearing, you should have led with he was wearing a kilt.
He's wearing a kilt. He would shove it up his ass. Said that so many times.
Mark.
Then he would take it out of his ass and put it back on the shelf.
All right. Wait. With poop on it?
I mean, it had his ass stuffings on it. Whatever was in there came back with it.
Did they not have cameras in this pharmacy?
That they was caught in 2 different stores doing this. Like going to random things, grabbing it, shoving it up his ass, pulling
the
it
kilt?
back out, and then putting it back on the shelf.
Toothbrushes?
I'm sure those, I mean, it'd be in the package, but yeah.
But, I mean,
By the way, Mitchell C. Vest is 60 years old. So if you can, I can't imagine, like, say I'm going down, like I'm at the CVS and there's a guy in a kilt. It's also on the protein bar aisle.
The guy in a kilt.
And all of a sudden, some of the bars that I pick up don't smell right.
Some of these protein bars stink.
Yeah. Man, I thought they smelled like this after I ingested it. Right?
This is after some of the process.
I can't imagine how drunk
Okay.
the man from Texas had to be in order to go, you know, it'd be real cool. I'm going to walk into this Eckerd's. I'm going to start.
Wait, did you say Eckerd's?
Yeah. Start shoving random things in my asshole, pulling them back out, and then placing them back on the shelf.
Colby, Eckerd's not a thing anymore.
I'm going to go to the Skaggs Alpha Beta.
There's Skaggs Alpha Beta is not a thing anymore. CVS or Walgreens?
I'm going to go to this Piggly Wiggly.
No.
I'm going to go to this Minyards. All right, guys. And that's news and notes, everybody.
I don't know what's more shocking right now. Skaggs Alpha Beta or Piggly Wiggly. I don't know what to do with you right now.
Go to that Brookshire Brothers.
Well, that's still a thing.
Brookshire's is a thing. I don't think Brookshire
No,
Brothers.
Brookshire Brothers in the small towns.
Okay.
There's the Brookshire's Brothers up in Prosper, sir.
Oh.
Up by where the great Ben Rogers apparently lives, but he has yet to prove it. Yeah, so I have so many questions, but we'll save those for next week. This has been the Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim show. I am IndyCar Tim.
Uh-huh.
That is Colby Sapp over there. My broken nose is hurting a lot, so I've drank a lot of alcohol, which is what my doctor told me to do.
Nope.
He said, hey, if it starts hurting, drink more.
Uh-huh.
And I said, you know what? I can do that, Doc. What's up, Doc? But we will be back on Monday with another Colby Sapp and IndyCar Tim show. I cannot promise it will be as fun as this one, but I can promise, actually I can't, that we'll have a run sheet. Colby, was the show so bad without a run sheet?
No, we just went wherever I wanted us to go.
You led the show, right? Because I didn't know. I think we skipped it. Didn't we skip I think we skipped a break.
We did skip a break. We also skipped a segment. But, you know.
And we skipped like 3 segments. I don't care. Whatever. I still have my underwear on, and I'm still drinking. We'll be back on Monday. Until then, boys and girls, we'll see ya.